Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Institution of Engineers, Tamil Nadu State Center, today we have a lecture meeting, manufacturing of composite components for aerospace industries by Dr. Ranga Reddy. Is a chairman and managing director of Legend Technology India Private Limited. The Ranga Reddy is technocrat and industrialist for more than 30 years. I welcome all the council members, even Dr. Engineer Mahendra Kothari and Sanjay Sen, all the council members and other corporate members, today attendees, everybody I welcome once again. Now, Dr. Ranga Reddy is a technocrat and industrialist, more than 30 years of experience in the field of aerospace design, manufacturing, assembly, and tool manufacturing. The expertise also span of SPM design and manufacturing, test rigs, manufacturing, and the commissioning of innumerable aerospace projects in India. After completing MTech tool design from CITD, Hyderabad, Dr. Ranga Reddy began his career with HIL Bangalore in 1986. Then he went to begin his own venture, Legend Designers, Mysore in 1992, which specialized in tooling and manufacturing of SPMs, aerospace structure, assembly jigs, and slip rings. In 1998, he founded Legend Technologies India Private Limited, Bangalore, a company that offered design and fabrication of aerospace assembly jigs and fixtures. So once again, I welcome Dr. Ranga Reddy, and then he's IEA council member from Mechanical Engineering Division, and also he's the chairman of All India Students ASI. And then I welcome once again Dr. Ranga Reddy sir. Now you take over and then give today's presentation in manufacturing of composite components for aerospace industry.
Thank you.
Take over, Ranga Reddy sir.
Vanakkam, good evening to all. Chairman, Tamil Nadu State Center, and my dear IEI council members, corporate members, and all the webinar delegates who are attending today's evening program. And I take this opportunity to welcome our another director, Swaminathan, and another director, Dr. N. Shamarao is attending this. So they will be helping us if any of the questions comes on this after the session is over. And I would like to take 45 minutes on this manufacturing of composite components for aerospace industries. And overall, we will discuss the parts from the material to the manufacturing methods used in aerospace components. And we were a part of many of the projects which in aerospace projects is done in India. And this is for 45 minutes, it will be overall a broad view of all the technologies, materials, and process in order will be taken. And if after the 45 minutes of presentation, any questions will be there, I will be taking and will trying to answer whatever is possible. And again, this contents of this session goes to introduction of composites and materials and usage in aerospace industry. Types of manufacturing methods are used in most of the very largely used methods were discussed for a few slides, and then we say what is the aerospace industry manufacturing methods are used. And I would like to take few minutes on our India Innovation Company introduction and what is the relation of this composite manufacturing methods and what is the academic solutions which India Innovation is offering. And I would like to go to the introduction of the composites. I think this is a very word used in most of the industries nowadays, whether even it is in the finance what they use composite schemes and composite interest rates. Most of the places are used as a composite word. In the material world it comes, we say it is a made up of two distinct materials, and one is a matrices, we say polymer, ceramic, and metal and carbon, and added with reinforcement materials, fibers, whiskers, flakes, and particles. And this is a production of both the matrices and reinforced will be called as a composite. In a short word, you say made up of two distinct materials is called a composite material. And what are the composite materials? I just want to continue from there. And there is a solid materials constituted by two or more distinct phases, and it is a physical properties are different and better than the individual material characteristics. A composite is designed to match for high stiffness, brittleness with a tough but less stiff one matrix, and it acquires high resistance to fracture and fatigue loads. And if you just go and see there and what the characteristics of the fiber are a filament reinforcements and a matrix, and we say high strength in the filament side, and it will have a high stiffness and a low density. And if you go to the matrix, it will have a good shear properties and a low density. When both are reinforcement and matrix are joined, you get a composite materials. It is called, it will have a high strength, high stiffness, and a good shear properties, and as very clearly it is a low density. I think this is one of the major advantage of composite material, especially in aerospace industries. And why composites? I think these are one of the what most of the time in most of the industries are used, and it is used in different form in different industries in so many applications in India and in abroad. And one major advantage is tolerable physical properties. I think these are very, very distinctive property of a composites, and it is not possible by your ferrous or non-ferrous materials used in aerospace industry or in automobile, any other sector. And this is one of the where the designers are very fond of designing a products by using the composites. And a thermal management and a heat transfer, and the strength and stiffness at low densities. I think this is another advantage, especially for aerospace applications where weight matters a lot. And conductivity range is very low to many times that of a copper. And a thermal expansion, almost we may say maybe close to zero, and include wide range of materials. Maybe in the composites we'll have, as already discussed, we'll have polymeric composites or metallic, or ceramic, and a carbon materials. And exploding potential of a materials and applications is one of the advantage of in the composites. The primary advantage of composites over metal is that matters, the properties can vary with any direction. I think that is another very basic advantage of composite materials is the properties can vary as a direction of what designer wants it there. And why composites is in the continuation of the other slides. Many structures are by primary load direction, other directions are in heavily loaded, and metals are isotropic. I think these all our delegates and participants are known. Stiffness, strength, thermal expansion, and thermal conductivity are same in all directions. I think these are one of the point where material properties at different directions will vary in the different in the composites, being composites are anisotropic, and the layups are tailored in any only as a much strength in whichever direction you want it there. And the strength and or stiffnesses in the secondary load directions will be the same as the primary load directions. Yeah, as I said, anisotropic complicates the design process, but gives a more variables for optimizing the structure. And the benefits of the composites are plenty. I just recorded few are the very prominent in the benefits of the composites. It is a better performance, I think lightweight, and especially the weight is a more very in the aeros and the space applications, lower energy consumption, fewer greenhouse gas emissions, extended life cycle, and improves constructability, low field installation cost for especially for composite parts, because number of parts will become very less when you are doing with a different method, especially in aerospace applications. Enhanced serviceability and sustainability. If you take a longer life and what we spend, the low maintenance cost, and no corrosion. I think these are one of the very clear the advantage of, especially in the marine applications. Any other applications, I think corrosion, no corrosion is almost, this is a very interesting pattern for the composite materials. in most of the applications. And as I said, materials you are discussing, we will not be taking the two details of the subjects because in the 45 minutes, we would like to give overall view of in the materials just. And normally what we used in the aerospace applications, I would like to mention here. There is normally materials consist of a matrix. Matrix setup part geometrically gives a cohesion to the material. It is usually flexible and not very resistant and transmits efforts from one fiber to the other. And the reinforcement already we have seen provides the rigidity and resistance. And the types of matrices are plenty, and we have just mentioned here few used in aerospace applications, in other industry applications. Metal matrix composite materials, and ceramic matrix composite materials, organic, polymeric or reinforced plastic matrix composite materials. And if you come into the fibers, main fibers used in the reinforcements are glass fibers, the largest part of most of the applications in the other industries and including even the aerospace sectors, few of the parts. The carbon fibers, these are highly used, especially in a high temperature area and aerospace applications. And the boron fibers, ceramic fibers, metal fibers. Sharing of slide. Ramdas, I'm not able to, slides are not moving.
Try, it's your control only.
Yeah. I think I got it there. Yeah, now generally most of the time the composites, when the usage comes, the topic will come, cost of the composites will be higher compared to the other materials, especially in applications where it is required. But whenever we calculate a cost of any of the product or any of the application, the total life cycle cost analysis has to be done for any of the product. Then we can say the cost to be comparison will come with other materials. And here we have just taken a normal of any product life cycle cost analysis was done. And if we say total cost normally calculated, that extraction, manufacturing, whatever the source is there, it come normally calculated is raw materials and manufacturing cost, plus construction and installation cost, and operation maintenance cost, and replacement end of life. And this total cost, if you take into the composites in the normal comparison wise, only the one area you will have a more costly is raw materials and manufacturing cost is compared to other materials, it is high in the composites. And but if you take to the construction and installation side, there are a low weight resulting in low cost to transport and install. Composites typically requires less maintenance, and durability results in low replacement frequency. That way it shows that composites are in the total life cycle, it is a competitive and is compared to less compared to the other materials what we use in aerospace applications. This is one slide, just normally want to bring it to the total application of composites manufacturing in India, how it is growing up. If you take it from 2000 and 2020, I think if you take the world of GDP, I think in 2000 around BRIC nations are around 11%. And if we say that developed countries around 89% of the GDP in 2000, and the BRICS are 40 to 60 the way GDP of country. But this is again comparison to your composite production. So that just it gives a little relativity that the production of composite going along with the GDP growth. If you take a BRIC nations, now in 2000, we are producing only 19% of the world composite productions. 81 is a developed countries. BRIC is, you are all known, Brazil and Russia, India and China. This is very famous. It is called developing countries now. Maybe already one country might have claimed it is a developed already, but still it is all four are developing countries. And now if you say in 2020, the BRIC nations composite production has gone to 37%, and developed countries, the share has come down to the 63%. So this shows that developing nations overall have taken a strong role in global composites production, And further, BRIC countries increases are not a matter of whether it will happen, but when and how much will happen. So this shows very clearly that all the developing countries, especially India, is catching up that usage of composite materials in different applications in all the industries. And this is a global demand for carbon fiber. It was taken from a magazine, and it goes almost from 29,000 tons carbon fiber usage now in 2020, expected to be 73,000 tons, and projected in 2020 almost around 40-45% growth. Because the applications and the cost of manufacturing and technologies are coming, and it is becoming day by day affordable. So the applications of composite materials in every sector is increasing. And the usage of aerospace industry, I think this is a which I would like to be more to the part of in Indian applications, where rather after my MTech, I joined for this project in 1986, a campus recruitment. That is the Indian, every scientist and every defense scientist dream project. And whatever we talk about this LCA and what press coverage, even the time taken for that, but it is one of the wonderful indigenous first project done by the Indian scientist. Maybe one of my director, Dr. Shamrao, is be part of as a participant, and I think he is the person who has done all the composites from the inception for LCA project up to now. And another interesting point of this, I think Tejas is the name of a light combat aircraft. Initially the aircraft name was given light combat. Light, the word was used because the composites were used almost 45% by weight, and mostly the applications were carbon fiber, and also there was a glass and aramid was used in this our Indian most prestigious project. Here one interesting fact for our Tamil Nadu state chairman is already one say in Sulur Air Base, I think LCS or Tejas flights are kept there, and they are war ready now, and all the training, and it is handed over to the Indian Air Force, and the base is at Sulur, Tamil Nadu. And this is a LCA frame, the composites on LCA. There is a LCA is now presently called as a Tejas aircraft. So there's the percentage of the material, as we just seen, 45% is the total structural weight. And if we just see that one, carbon fiber CFC is used around 45%, steel 4%, and titanium alloys around 5%, aluminum alloys 43%, and other materials is around 3%. If you see the color indication here, the wing parts and the fuselage, and the front fuselage, center fuselage, and the rear fuselage, and all the parts are made up of a carbon fiber. And the front area goes for Kevlar and glass, and on the top of your fin on the top, and all other metals are used in the where attachment brackets are done. And this has made our light combat aircraft or a Tejas fighter aircraft is a significant reduction in weight. And there is another advantage of, especially in a composites parts used in a normal in aircraft industries. If you are used any our aluminum alloy parts, if we say around 10,000 rivets are used to our 10,000 joining bolts are used. If you use a composites and if you do a co-curing and co-bonding methods, I think that the fasteners has come down almost by around 30%. I think I read there around 10,000 fasteners supposed to have been used if we would have been other materials, because we use the co-bonded and co-cure technology for in LCA. The fasteners has come down from 10,000 to the 2,000. And another great advantage is improvement in a fatigue life. And this is one of the reduction in a signaturized. This is for a Tejas airframe, what the composite materials are used, which is done by, this is our Indian proud product. And this is a Eurofighter. This is a typical way of the composites, how the composites used in most part of a fighter aircrafts now it is happening. And if you see the wing, same co-bonded composite fiber composites. And if you go to the canopy windscreen, a tapered 3D core single piece and electric Demis films, radome, center fuselage, honeycomb panels were used for moisture prevention. This is a Eurofighter. is done by the most of the, is a combined project by most of the European countries has produced this fighter aircraft. And this aircraft is not produced by a single country, but you have to remember earlier what we were talking, Tejas is a production of our own, one country developed the project, and it is in the services of in our Air Force. And another, I think is most of the time, maybe it will not be in the general public usage goes, but our pilotless target aircraft, it was generally you call it unmanned aircrafts. It was, this is done by our DRDO in Bangalore based DRDO, it is produced. And in this total, this is called Lakshya, we call as a PTA. All the glass composites are used in entire structure. And the method used in this glass composites is a wet layup method, and this is a very inexpensive process and materials are used, and this regularly we are producing for our defense applications from DRDO lab in Bangalore based. And this is another very prestigious project was done by the NAL. Again, this is another NAL is a Bangalore based CSIR lab, all composite aircraft, and use of glass composites in entire structure. And this again used by wet layup method, and JAR certification has been done, and it is in the service for a training clubs in India, and for training the pilots, this is used in most of the training clubs. And this is another Indian prestigious rotary wing project. It is called, initially it is named as a ALH, Advanced Light Helicopter, and now it is called as, they were named as a Dhruv. And here the composites is 60% of wetted area and around 40% by weight. And most of these materials are Kevlar composites are used, and this again a proud product of Bangalore-based Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And if we just take as the overall aerospace defense applications, the composite materials, if you just see in civil and military aircraft, approximately 50% of the airframe is made of from composites. I think if I see somewhere our LCA comes around 45% here, and if it is a Boeing projects, even it has gone up to 60% for a AH-66 aircraft, and it is applicable in a B-2 bombers, Gripen fighters, and civil aircrafts. And most of the present day the products are coming from Airbus or Boeing products in civilian airlines are very large, almost as I said 50% of the airframe is made from the composites, and most of our carbon fiber composites are used. And this is the way the future goes, that maybe now it was initially around 4 to 5% in the say DC-9, 737, 300 or 777 aircrafts. Now it has grown 7E7, almost 50%. 7E7 a civil aircraft, 60% of that composites are used in the airframe applications. And most of the time we talk that composites are only meant for aerospace applications. But if you really go through the applications, I think there is no industry left out without usage of composites, whether it is a glass or it is a Kevlar or it is a fiber, a carbon fiber. And if it is one of the aerospace application, what we are just seeing here. But if we go to an automobile, I think this is another area which is picking up very high level applications are going on. It is there in automobiles, it is there in construction doors, windows, and even internal beams. Most of the places are composites are getting used. And wind turbines, I think there's a maximum number of, I think in the weight or consumption of material goes for the, especially for wind turbine blades and energy area, a lot of composites material usage is done. Sports, especially for a sports vehicles and a very lightweight cycles were done by the carbon fiber and other materials, composites are used. Medical equipments, composites are used. Oil and gas industries are all tubes and pipes where it is a very critical chemical reaction products are made with a composite, especially for carbon fiber with the filament winding application. Marine applications is there from years together, that most of the marine applications are glass fiber layup methods are used here. and energy and power industries. Most of the applications are the composites are there. Robotics for the lightweight and applications, and railways. I think nowadays railways are picking up most usage of composites are getting used into there. This is a slide I just want to bring it to all the maybe academicians and industrialists or the members or students who are attending. Composite is going to be the future, and composite learning of a composite or getting an exposure of a skill in the composite manufacturing and a knowledge is going to be the good opportunities for the people to catch up maybe for their researches or for their jobs, or if they want to be a part of that industries what is growing up. This is a slide is just mentioned that composites are using in every industry. There is not an industry left out without usage of composite materials. And especially in the railways, I think it is, you know that it is a lightweight where the composite comes. Trains, the challenge is it is a very heavy, and there is a tremendous scope to exploit the benefits of lightweighting. I think that will give you, I think in the lot of calculations of 1 kg of a normal weight is reduced in a space applications. There is a thumb rule says it is the fuel and the cost saving is almost 1 kg of gold. And that is a very thumb rule. I think space scientists will accept when you say 1 kg of a weight reduced in the launch vehicle, and how much you reduce the cost saving into that. And this is a on the ground still will have a lot of cost savings, especially when you reduce the weight. Energy savings will come, cost infrastructure management will become easy, and the capacities can be increased. And another challenging is our less damage to the track, and need to overcome both technical and cultural barriers to introduce lightweight materials more widely. In automotive sector, slowly is picking up the application of glass fiber reinforced and polymer composites, and high cost of materials are taking little more time to get into especially in a automobile sector. But now lot of technologies are coming forward, and the cost is coming down. When automobiles also we see a lot of jump of composite usages, especially now the most carbon fibers are used in the race cars, and where the very weight is one of the most to run the speed of around 300-400 kilometers per hour there. And oil and gas, which I was mentioning, and oil industry use composite materials. Almost the mass of construction reduced up to 80%. And this is one of the most, I think latest even the government rules were done that anything going in underground, especially if it is a gas or an oil or any of the fluids are done, there must and should be a composite pipes to be used, because that will be for a lifelong, and will not have any leakages, and no accidents of leakages, and what fire accidents are we are seeing now and then. And use of carbon fiber reinforcement elements has become very important for oil industry due to high specific strength, and this is the most requirement for the in the oil when you use the pressure fluids are pumped through that, and a longer lifetime structure. Almost, for example, on 25 years of carbon fibers lose only 2 to 10% of initial strength. That means even you can see the life of a carbon fiber pipes or tubes can be in the ground for how many years. And easy installation for the construction, and we can do the joints. You will have a mechanical joints have a lot of challenges of leakages. We can build in the co-bonded and co-curing system, as all the joints can be made as a very single structure, and it is higher safety at work and a minimum maintenance. And is the major composite most of the time whenever we talk to academicians or even the industry, people say, where are the how many industries and where are those applications are there for a composite materials in India? How many industries are there? So we made a lot of work to find out and how many industries are public sector and a private sector. And here I just made a group of especially in aerospace and defense sector. We have these all the people may be knowing, but in the one line public sector you may be knowing all these people are using the composites like HAL, Bangalore, Kanpur, ADNL, DARE, Bangalore, Hyderabad, DRDL, GTRE. This information is specially meant for the people who are looking for opportunities for in composite industries, and maybe especially for academicians to tell that what is the future of the composite industries in India, and how many are already looking for a trained and people who know the in the composite manufacturing technologies. And if you see the logo here, Infosys, people may be, why Infosys in composites? I think Infosys is in the very large extent, maybe if I correct, my Dr. Shamrao can correct me, I think around 300 to 400 engineers in Infosys works in the design projects of aircraft composite components. And that is the opportunities for people who are knowing the composite knowledge. And when we got an opportunity to conduct around 2 hands-on experience training in Infosys campus, and we did for a 2 days training at Infosys in Mysore, their training center. And you have all the engineering services companies in India is involved for a Boeing and Airbus or Embraer, all the overseas and Indian projects. They are doing in a designs analysis, and they are in the part of in the composite field, like CADS Bangalore and Allied Reinforced Plastics. These are all private sector who are involved in the services or manufacturing. TCS Bangalore and Infosys Bangalore, L&T, Tata Advanced Materials, and Kenco Goa, Taneja. Lot of projects, a bigger company here in Tamil Nadu, Hosur plant, and they are doing a lot of, I think all Laksha projects and all composite, the total structure they are building there, Aztec Composites in Ahmedabad. And if you go to the in energy and power sector, I think then we lot of big players in the public sector, CPRI, BHL, and Enercon, all the guys who are in the especially for wind energy, Suzlon and Aztec, ABB, GE, Schneider, and the private sector in energy and power, all these big companies, you know, Schneider, Ariana, RRB, Karnataka, Inox Wind, all the list is here. GE, LM, and Enersins India, Elcon Engineering Limited, Gujarat, Vestas Wind Energy, Chennai, Kemrock, Gujarat, and lot of other private sector who are there in the energy and power sector, who are in the composite industries, who look for a composite technologies, who look for a better technologies in a composite world, maybe the skilled manpower and engineers who can come and part of these industries. And why this issue has come is as a Innovation has participated in a Composite India shows around in Delhi and Mumbai at 3 times in Hyderabad. So these all the industries were participating in the composite exhibition there, and everybody look for a people who can have a skilled manpower and a skilled designers and who got a knowledge in a composite field to see for there they'll be helpful for their industries. And if you go to sports and medical, private sector in this no public sector is there that Keneco, Dhana, and Kemrock, private sector, G India, L&T Mumbai, Mahindra Pune, Keneco Goa, and Eternus India Maharashtra. And the automobile, I think every automobile industry who are there, and there's overseas or Indian. If you go to railways, Indian Railways, even BEML is using a lot for their military application vehicles. And DRD was using their CVRD for their battle tank applications, where these ballistic carbon fibers are used there. BEML, Bangalore and Mysore. And if you go to private sector, Aztec Composite and FRP, Madhya Pradesh, Yashok, Madhya Pradesh, Fiberglass Industries, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra, Kemrock, Tech Force Composites, Indore, Iran Composites, Gujarat, Bus Coach, India. And island storage, all the private sector industries are used, almost around 11 island storage applications are, all the industries are there. They are using the composite materials and composite applications are there. And marine wise, I think these are very well known and old. For years together they are there. Keneco Goa, Kemrock Gujarat, Eternus India Mumbai, ERP Gujarat, Ariane Composites Gujarat. And types of all these applications which are covering how many industries in every sector, how many areas, public and private sector. And normally what are the application manufacturing methods are used in different industry patterns there. And this is a very, very well-known system, this hand layup method. I think this is the most basic method of fabrication on a thermoset composites. The process involves laying prepreg and files into tool by hand. I think this is a very system of normally we are no years together these layup systems, but the whole of industry, if you see all the applications, I can say around 80 to 85% of products in every industrial level, whether it is in energy or power, marine or aerospace, and in sports sector. This is a hand layup method is used maybe in the advanced level of room temperature curing or oven curing or autoclave curing, whatever you call. But the method of laying up and making the parts and making the molds and building the layup system is used very largely in every industry. And especially when it comes to the aerospace industry, that was a layup method used in very widely. And another system, vacuum assisted resin transfer molding are used. And it does not need the use of heat or pressure rather than pumping the resin using pressure. The vacuum assisted resin transfer molding draws into the preform using a vacuum. Thus, VRTM uses low cost tools, making it easy to produce a considerable amount of inexpensive and complex parts. I think these are one system. Now presently our company is involved in an unmanned air vehicle for a DRDO lab in Bangalore, and all the unmanned air vehicle is almost some 4 meters. The square is a bigger one, and these parts are done by using this method. And vacuum assisted resin transfer molds are used, and molding method is used, and all the parts are produced for this. And this filament winding, as where the tubes and pipes are, this is a very system is very long, and the rotating mandrels in the pipe systems are used. And these are only to tell that how many methods of manufacturing systems are there for composite parts for in different application of industries goes. And this is a part we use in the radome systems are used some of the applications there in the domes were done there. The significant advantage of filament winding fabrication method is that its material costs are low and the process is continuous and it can be highly automated. And the pultrusion, I think these are general applications we see now in the very continuous production processes are there, and most of the applications are these fibers are pulled from a creel through a resin bath and then through a heated die. The die completes the impregnation of the fiber, controls the resin content, and cures the material into its final shape as it passes through the die. And you can see the applications are plenty, very ladders or here applications are. And this is produced in a very, very faster method in the large numbers. And the cost comes down. And this is a user for most of the structural applications are involved in a, not in an aerospace application, but other user normal engineering applications are used into that. And aerospace industry manufacturing methods, I think this is the one we would like to spend a little time on this, because these are most of the parts, I think more than 80-90% of the parts are used. This is an autoclave application where this is nothing but in a layup process are used, which you are discussing on the other side. And the layup was used in the previous some applications. We do a layup and a room temperature curing is done in the mold. It is done. And then in the other extension of next level is layup is done, and then you put a vacuum bagging and it cures with a resin and vacuum bagging. Some products will be produced. And in the autoclave, you'll have the prepregs are laid up and on the mold it can kept. You'll have the vacuum bagging is used for the products, and also will have external pressure. And this is very all the applications. I think if you see in the LCA, I think most of the parts, whether it is a fin, rudder parts or a wing and fuselage components are made using the autoclave system. I think this in HL we have an autoclave almost for around 6 meters dia, the biggest. And in Bangalore, even the Tatas have having more than 10 autoclaves, and to produce all these aerospace components are used. And this is a system where when we say layout process, and but this is not a normal layout process is required. There is a procedure to tell how prepregs are used, or how your each layer is kept as per the design. We almost need around 1 hour to explain, and in 1 hour to demonstrate how the parts are, all the prepregs and your layout process are used, how the resin has been extracted and how your vacuum bagging system is done. And for all these things, we need a molds for the different profile what you are going to produce. And there is a, after that, you are going to use an autoclave for the whole curing system. And some of the parts even need not be the so critical in other industries other than aero space applications. Even the oven curing is enough after you are doing the layout process and then vacuum bagging system. And after autoclave curing, as per the curing cycle, the parts are will be coming out there. Then we will be doing. There is a, if you go in the tooling of a parts, there will be a trimming line. Then the part will be demolded, debagging is done. Then we remove the component and we'll be doing the trimming as we marked in the tools, and to produce the final component. And the component comes out, you do a X-ray or you do a water jet inspection, systems are done, and then parts are passed there. Then it will go for a application in aerospace applications. And this is a maximum, as I said, most of the process what I have shown as a resin injection molding, or if we say pultrusion, or if we say your filament winding, this is a most widely used in aerospace applications are autoclave layout process system. And this autoclave process goes in a detail there, and the process involves laying up a dry fabric of introduction of resin either. Now, but nowadays the most of the aerospace applications we are getting the pre-pregs. Pre-pregs already the resin is impregnated and will be directly can use, and new additional resin pumping is not required. And as I explained, the most of all the parts of like one of the example photo we have shown here, that 380 red bulkhead and A400M cargo door is manufactured by using an autoclave method for aerospace applications. And another 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I just the relation of an innovation to the part of a composite industries applications. I would like to take few minutes. And this is a registered company in 2012, and we are approved by MSME government. And we also design and manufacture of parts by Simlac approval is there, valid up to 2023. We are all registered DRDO companies, HLBL, all the public sectors approved of this. This innovation was found by the industry experts, and more than 100 personal years of combined industry experience was done. As I already told, my other director, Dr. N. Shamarao, is also participating in this. He's attending, and another director, V. Swaminathan, is also a part of our webinar. And they have worked for years, almost served around, as I said, 100 personal years of all these experiences. Want to do this, especially to meet, there is a skill gap between the industry and the what academy, and the how to build a skill to match that industry requirements. That's where this composite laboratory concept were taken from innovation side, and to specially build gap between the academy and industry. And people who are, as I said, they have produced, and their whole life is, especially Dr. Shamarao was built for his 45 years experience, especially in a composite from glass cloth to the carbon fiber, from a room temperature to almost for around 300 and 350 centigrades application of carbon products he has done, including for a GTRE for their engine products. And our advisory team is well in academy side. It goes Padma Shri Vasagam. He is a Vice Chancellor Anna University, and he is also our council member and NEL director. These are all the people of vision of ideas. This is the latest upcoming industry, the composites, and it is the feature of in every engineering sector, composites will be used very widely. But we see in our courses or our engineering side or wherever we get a manpower, and we have got a tremendous of a lot of lack of knowledge, especially in the manufacturing sector of the parts. Maybe in the theoretically classes are there, but no engineering institutes or any other places, there will not be any exposure for the especially for people who are looking their careers in the composites, and the industries are looking somebody who can get it trained outside or who can be trained at their institutes before they come for an industry. it will be a upcoming industry in the composites. And that's where we thought we will build a gap by giving a trainings and establishing the laboratories in their wherever it is institutions or in a academy or in any industries. We can start the training at a basic level and they can be inducted directly into the composite industries where there is a lack of trained manpower and all industries are facing, especially in the composite fields. And India is doing an services, engineering services, and these are the products we doing for last 8 years. We are reverse engineering we do, and we are producing the parts for import substitution projects we have done, and serving the biggest design of our GSLV Mark III design and manufacturing of aerospace structural assemblies we are doing. This is the biggest structure so far built in out of HL around 4 meters dia. This all old tooling is designed, manufactured, including the component is assembly done by at our place. And the innovation center, which I was telling, the composite center of excellence, where we thought a skill gaps will be built. And these are where the concept of center of excellence in composites has come. And this center of excellence can be used for a training modules, and we can train the students maybe at the level of engineering or at the after the polytechnic courses there, and we can this laboratory can do the solutions for a industries where they do not have any research or any documentation for any of the products, and we can do the protos there. And it will have a laboratory facility, especially for a academies who want to do a PhD and they want to do research projects. Especially composite is one of the very lot of opportunities, especially if people want to get their academicians want to get their doctorates and in the composite field. And this composite center give a lot of facilities. With this, we can do a lot of projects there, and a lot of knowledge management, and especially in a intellectual properties. Any technologies you can patent it, and especially in India, there is a lot of gap in the composites documentation is concerned. There is no data available for any of the industry, even in the aerospace industry. I think in Indian companies are in the defense or DRDO and HL, they are building, doing a lot of research and lot of testing documentation for their applications. And these are one of the area there composite center of excellence can build the gap and we can use into that. And the pathway to composite excellence, which I said is the Inti solutions of center of excellences. And this will be linking between academy and an R&D and an industry sector. Academy can do and train them, and it can do a research with R&D centers, and it will be supporting for industry. And these are normally, as we were discussing, that we industry normally says graduates who are coming out do not have marketable skills, and especially, and in India it has taken a second place manufacturing due to lack of interest of students in manufacturing skills. This is another where now we say make in India, skill India, and whatever government is talking, and this is where we have to pick up. Unless we have a hands-on experience especially in this sector, we cannot teach, as I said, in webinars, or we cannot teach by in a screens and computer screens. And this has to be in a hands-on manufacturing skills has to be done. I think this after COVID challenges, and India is hoping, and we might have seen in the press the thousands of maybe hundreds of industries of manufacturing base, they want to shift it from our neighboring countries to our country. I think that give a lot of opportunities for our manpower or our upcoming engineering students and other sectors to get their skills ready. And this is a one which is going on a hands-on training for all the students will be done. And this is a comment of most of them. Academy says that lack of verifiable and consistent inputs from industry on their needs will never come, and lack of exposure for students due to limited industry sponsored projects. I think now slowly we are coming into this linking between the industry and an academy side, and lack of interest in industry in developing research ready students, and no recruitment reflecting the stated skills. I think this gap is both the side is a justifiable comments from academy side, and the other side, as we heard from industry. And there is a that this center of excellence want to build a gap between the expectations of an industry and an academy. Where are the things where it can be strengthened and it can be meet the industry requirements, and it will give a ISO 9001 2015 facility with all needed documentation and lab certified by the industry bodies, and especially the partnership that opens door to industry projects with INTI partner industries across the globe. And this is especially is all this only the point we can say is center of excellence is institute demonstrate thought leadership in areas of composites and play a role in transforming manufacturing. This is a theory to practical. That's one of the where I think most of the academicians and industry accepts that we need lack, especially for in a hands-on experiences in most of the fields, but especially in the composite, it is very higher level into that. And this composite center of excellence will have all the in the basic facilities to do the composite lab. We can from the raw materials start to we can do up to the manufacturing the components can be done, and we'll have a training modules to teach from raw material to the layup systems and safety systems, and we'll go for the component layer, including a vacuum bagging can be done there, parts can be produced. And we have this center of excellence will have the basic, all the features are done in the module 1. And we have all the facilities in the lesser level of in a composite laboratory level, and all the equipments will be part of this center of excellence. These are the things is enough to produce parts which is required to the level size of 500 by 500 size, and all these special tools and special things is a part of the whole laboratory will be done. I think these are basic labs are used, and this is there. One is there in front of HL corporate office, and 1:1 of LCA, fully composite, made of a composite materials. It is there almost for 13 meters length and around 6 meters height. It is there for last 4 years in front of HL corporate office in Bangalore. These are all the laboratory produced products at the 1:1 Tejas and other scaled models can be used through the basic small laboratory modules, whatever we are offering. The basic laboratory of composite lab is technologies are hand layup, vacuum bagging at room temperature. I think you can produce products of monolith, test coupons, curved panels, and these are industry-wise. It's used in general engineering, civil, marine, and chemical storage units. The next one goes to intermediate. It is the next level of materials up to basic level honeycomb cores, polyurethane foams, and the two technology-wise hand layup and vacuum bagging with oven curing. Products can produce sandwich panels, self-stiffened construction, CI sections. Industries wise, you can use for automotive production components, medical equipment, and marine industries. And these are one for an advanced. This is especially for aerospace applications where you will have a prepregs of a Kevlar and a carbon can be done, and technology wise autoclave curing and hand layup system, and all the products of the flat panels, curved panels, co-bonded and co-curing, and its application is aerospace, military, space, and skiing equipment, sports goods, and industrial products. I think these are all the induction phase, implementation, I think installation. These all the INTI can give a solutions in establishing the center of excellences in their respective institutes or an academy or an industry level. And I think I already taken almost 50 minutes, Chairman. You have to excuse, and this is my last slide of the presentation, and if any questions from anybody, I can answer. Chairman, thank you. Chairman.
Hello. Thank you, Ranga Reddy sir.
Please tell me, sir. or I think
I think we have two questions. One is, sir, please discuss about the application of FRP in civil engineering.
FRP.
Civil engineering.
I think civil engineering, especially in a, if we say in civil engineering application in Bangalore, we got a big institute, and all the doors and the window panels and especially bathroom doors, and even the construction side, they are using the fiber, glass fiber beams inside for a strengthening purpose, and
Okay.
especially for doors and panel boards, and very highly used in civil engineering process.
And then one more person, Mr. Thirumurugan. Any measures taken for biofouling on the glass fiber composite in sea surface application?
Sorry, I didn't heard that question.
Any measures taken for biofouling on the glass fiber composite in sea surface application?
Bioforming.
Biofouling. In question answer, there is available. Just you go there and then your question answer, you click it. It will display for you also.
I'll just go through and answer this question. Any other questions? I think Dr. Shamrao is there. You can say mute off into that. Application of FRP.
You can unmute his.
Yeah. Grid shift and lattice cylindrical shell using filament. Yes, sir. Any of this I'll answer. Any other questions are there?
No, that's all. Can you explain about a 3D woven composite?
3D
woven.
3D woven composite we can do in a filament winding as per the mold you make into that. In the mold in the 5-axis filament winding machine, we can woven the 3D surfile components, and we can cure it and take it off. Especially it will be done in a collapsible molds is used when the profile is when the tool has to come back and the component has to come up.
Okay. Just you
I shared
sharing of screen.
Shared my mail ID and maybe any questions which you are not able to answer, or you want to ask some other question, please take this mail ID and you can share with me.
Anybody have any questions? Just you unmute yourself and then you ask the questions.
Kotari Sava.
Kotari sir is there. Sir, unmute yourself and then you ask.
Yeah.
Lot of companies are moving.
Very good session, sir. I've been in the industry, and in Nasik there is a fiberglass pipes, replacing cement pipes. It's a big industry, and it's automatic fiberglass pipes are being produced. And in the control panel industry also it is used. But in your presentation, I wanted to know actually what are the methods of mass production of these items, such as SIM cards or electronic items, which are produced in lakhs of number. So this hand molding, etc., will not work. I think there must be some other methods, no? Like in the press, power presses, or some fiberglass power presses. So can you enlighten on that?
Yeah. There is a methods in the hot plate and presses are used in the mass production systems where a mold and die is used. But as I was concentrating more on an aerospace industries where the limited applications were used, and you will have a numbers not in the 2 digits of maximum products are done. But any aerospace industry applications, this layout method is used because of the special design requirements cannot be done, and this is layup system is used for the aerospace industries. As you said, mass production technologies are resin infusion systems are coming, and filament winding areas where mass production components are coming. Technologies is growing in the composite. As I said, there is a lot of scope for an academy and research institutes to give more time and strength for these composite industries. Then you can produce more production, rather high number of products by using composite technologies.
So any other question anybody have? Sir, in bottom of that question answer is there. Just use the click the question answer. Some lot of questions is there.
Already is the one. I can just answer this. It's recorded. No, I can just answer if they would have given their mail ID. I would have answered and
Okay.
each question, and we can see details into that.
Okay.
Your company make fabrication of grid stiffened lattice cylindrical shell using filament winding. Say no. Any measures taken biofouling it has come. Can you explain 3D woven? We have done that. So any other that does a in future, what will be the application of additive manufacturing in composite parts fabrication? Yes, the question is, the future will be very bright for additive manufacturing composite parts. Already some parts are produced, even the molds are produced by using additive manufacturing for a composite part. Still component has not come to the level, but molds of the composite parts to manufacture the composite parts, additive manufacturings are used. What is the testing done in aerospace engineering? Is it in a component testing will be very high level testing is done, especially for a delaminations or anything is there, and they do an X-ray of the whole component, aircraft component is by X-ray will be done for 100%, and you have the total scanning of by with the air in the water jet scanning will be done for the full component, and it will find out any delaminations or anywhere the bonding is not correct or any defect is there, the part will be get rejected. Dr. Shamra would like to answer this question. He's on live. Can you explain 3D woven composite? I think there is a. Shamra, can you unmute?
Shamara is there.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, to prove the composite, because the composites are not like metal, where you take a metal, approved material properties, and only make a part. Here, you build the composite material and property together. That's the main difference. So here you have to do a lot of testing. One we call a non-destructive testing and destructive testing. Okay. Now, when you make a part, along with the part, we have a test coupon called carrier coupon, and that coupon experiences the entire surface or entire procedure of the material, like layup, curing, and how much time it is undergone, everything it experiences, the pressure, temperature, everything. Then that particular coupon is cut into different types and tested. The normal testings are interlaminar shear strength, fracture strength, and then these two are major. And if it is a peel, required peel test for a honeycomb panel. Overall, that if it meets the requirement of the strength, then the item is passed. Then the entire product is subjected to, as Dr. Rangareddy said, a C-scan, what you call a ultrasonic C-scan, where the 2.5 or 5 megahertz things are fed from one side and received. If there are any discontinuous or any other thing, it will be held there. So it has to pass that. Then only item is cleared for any further operation. Okay? Are you clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Dr. Shamra, sir, one more question you would answer because you're expert in aero engine. Any composite components development on aero engine art section?
Yeah, sure. Shall I answer? See, the aero engines, the temperature range is so high. We are at present talking about polymer material composite. The limit of polymer material composites is up to 350 degrees centigrade. I can say the temperature, working temperature maximum is 300. So if you look at this, the bypass duct, which is very important product in any of the engine, and the nose cone, the first bullet nose cone, and also the nasal flap where the exhaust gas comes out, all at present being made by this composite. But if you want a still higher temperature, you go in for not polymer matrix, you go in for ceramic matrix. or metal composites. So that's also under development. But use is so less and cost is so expensive. Only very few company can afford, and they're using it. Our own company here in Kaveri engine is now scrapped, but they are using one more type of engine where there is no higher the sound or what you call that thrust. There we are using these carbon composites for nasal flaps, bypass duct, and bullet nose. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. One more question is composite materials having heat absorption.
Heat absorption. Okay, see, not heat absorption. It actually what you call is when the, for example, you say when the rocket motor cases, rockets when you go into that, there so much heat is produced and it actually burns. But what you call is as it burns, it becomes an insulating layer. Further, will not allow the heat to pass through that. Okay, so that is they use the R glass with phenolic resin. We use that where it's called ablative property. So that particular type is used even today in our space program. It's the ablative property. Okay, it starts burning, but it has a different layer and different type of manufacturing. We have done the manufacturing of that, and then it doesn't allow burning. It just stops it and becomes insulated. And one more question was there on 3D. 3D, sir, 3D is not, actually ours is all 2D material. 3D weaving is being done, but it's only for non-structural application, not for structural application, for non-structure. Yes, but third action, if you put it, people got Z pinning. They do fiber of weaving from third direction called Z pinning. They tried, but not much successful in that area. Okay. Any other questions, sir?
What is your suggestion to increase the FRP component life in marine environment?
In marine environment, as you said, marine environment has seen maximum composite parts because the corrosion is a major thing in the marine environment, in oil industry or marine industry, and speeds. Now they want to go higher and higher speeds. You need to be lighter and lighter. Almost all the parts marine are glass composite. I don't think why. Lot of metal parts are gone now. I think now it is there in use from last 20 years. And I have seen that last 20 years part is in use and there it's increasing because of major maintenance. You don't have to maintain at all the corrosion resistance. And even in some places in oil industry and where drilling the rigs, if you go more than 2-3 kilometers, metal cannot be used because it will fail. You have to use only carbon composite. No other way. Okay.
Thank you. I think Chairman, 7:40.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think today excellent Dr. Ranga Reddy and then Dr. Shama Rao sir, given that excellent session today. Once again, I thank on behalf of Institution of Engineers, Tamil Nadu State Center, to Dr. Ranga Reddy and their company directors, Shama Rao sir and Swaminathan sir, and all our council member attended. So many council member attended today. Dr. Sajan Singh, Rajasthan chairman, and then Sujit Banerjee is there, and then Mahendra Kothari is there. Our Rajamani sir also today participated. Thank you one and all. Thanks once again, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And we look forward. Any questions comes to you, we are ready to help any of the participants.
Somebody asked that sharing of your PPT.
I'll do that. I'll share it.
Okay. Thank you.